YouTubers, it is the day of the blockade, but as you can see it is really wet, clouds in the sky, and it's been really quite heavy rain for the past little while. It's 10 o'clock right now. I just called the Ocean View Hotel, just getting into my car, just called the Ocean View Hotel to ask if there's any movement across at Mulgo Street Reserve. Apparently there's a few people wandering around in the rain out there, so we're going to go down and check it out. I have a feeling it may have been cancelled because of the torrential rain, and a lot of people out in Bellingen have been stranded because of the floods. I'm just going down hoping that, you know, there might be a few people there. Hey guys, so I've just parked down here at the Lido here, and as you can see the water is really quite high. You know, so this could be the reason why we're not going to have this today. I'm not sure yet. I'm just walking up now and we'll see how we go when we get up there. So as you can see, we're walking down to the stage now. It looks like a pretty good turnout. We've got the police just over there who's overseeing the event, obviously, and it looks like we've got a good turnout here of some of the community members. For a day like this, it's really quite good to see that a lot of people actually have turned up. You know, rain, hail or shine, you know that Urunga's always, you know, we're here as a family. Just taking some photos, obviously, for the local paper. Looks like our communities.
Doctor for organising this today with the hospital people and everybody else.
I think we didn't realise that this would get this much support. So I think that we've got a situation that's, it's not going to be fixed next week. It's not going to be fixed the week after that. It's going to take probably 10 or 20 years for this highway to be repaired to the state where it's safe.
Do you have a Facebook page?
Yes, we do.
And now.
My name is Raymond Jones. I'm a doctor who works in Grafton, and I've been involved in the protest action for improving the Pacific Highway for some years now. And I think that the highway is a disgrace to Australia and needs to be urgently upgraded. And we've started a community action group here today as a result of this meeting we've had in Urunga, which was a postponed meeting because of the weather. But even so, we've got a huge amount of interest that's being shown in this subject, the state of the Pacific Highway, and I think that we need to use that public interest to put pressure on the politicians that make the decisions as to spending the money to improve our highways in this region. People, when I was driving here this morning, a lady rang me up from Worrell Creek, a 77-year-old woman who lives at Worrell Creek, and she lives on the highway, and she's had 4 vehicles go through a fence in the last 2 weeks. 4 drive off the fourth vehicle, yeah, I said D-doubles and whatever.
Been quite an active environmentalist in this area for a long time, and out the front of our doorstep at Pine Creek, we've had 13, 14 deaths over the years. And when we fought with the RTA to change it because they went through the koala area and all the rest of it, my biggest thing was to cut the speed down. And once that day came that they cut the speed down, we've never had an accident since.
That was after they put the Pine Creek speed camera in.
My biggest thing with this highway is that we do not need a super highway. We get people who come up here for the holidays, they don't understand the country roads, and it's the speed that kills. So a group of local people have come together here today to protest against the state of the Pacific Highway and send a clear message down to the Australian government of what's going on around here. We've been subjected to irregularity of speed limits. I personally believe speed is a big infrastructural part that actually plays with a lot of deaths and carnage on this road, and when you get people coming up to visit in the holidays and that sort of a thing, they don't know how to deal with the country roads. So there should be an enforcement with a regulated speed limit from Nambucca to Coffs Harbour. We have an assortment of 100 to 110 to 60 to 50 that is a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. Today was a great show out and turn up. It's extremely emotional, as people have proven, and I just hope that our message gets through to everybody else, and we're asking for support. This community in this local region is more like family. It's got a strong basis. We've come together for a lot of environmental protesting. People stand united and come together for these sort of things, and it is proven once again that the people are going to voice up and stand up against the RTA and the politicians. So one of my biggest things that I am standing up for today is to bring the speed back down to a normal, drivable level, coming in to a congested town with D-double trucks and the rest of it. So from down Urunga end till you get out of Coffs Harbour end, we get some proper speed limits here, and not a spaghetti of speed limits that are going on at the moment.
I think we are the people that are being terrorised and can't go out at night because of the danger on our roads. I got tailgated on Tuesday after the accident by a bloody petrol tanker all the way down to the Vella turn-off where he passed and cut off other trucks. Yeah, g'day. I'd like to say that our MPs have both come out, both of the MPs that have been in power here for 15, 20 years or more, have come out and said there were no deaths at Pine Creek after the new highway was built. And it was not, that's not true, that there were no deaths after a speed camera and the wire rope barriers were put in at Pine Creek. And so therefore the RTA and our government know that a speed camera is successful at slowing vehicles down in dangerous locations, and then turn to the one at Urunga, the one that they turned off, and now that when they've turned it back on, they're going to send a warning letter to anyone who speeds through there now. In other words, our authorities are letting these people speed through, and I think that's completely a threat to the people of Urunga that experienced this terror 2 weeks ago.
Urunga is the only town between Kempsey from the end of the highway at Port Macquarie, the big donut, to Ballina, the new Ballina bypass, which is the only town that's a 60k zone. All the other towns are 50, except maybe for South Grafton. Of all the little towns like Almara, Broadwater, Cowper, they all have the highway.
No, I agree with.
Didn't they turn off the speed camera?
No, the speed is the major factor in these accidents, because like between Woolgoolga, where I live, and Coffs Harbour, they had a lot of people were killed there. A lot of bad accidents, people were killed there till they dropped the speed limit to 80 kilometres an hour.
I personally feel, I know a lot of other people have lost their lives, but I personally feel when they put the new bridge over the Kalang River, maybe they should call it the Max McGregor Bridge.
Yeah, me too. I want to say 2 things. I looked up the Pacific Highway on Wikipedia last night. About a quarter of the article on Wikipedia is devoted to safety on the Pacific Highway and the lack of duplication. There's nothing in there about the January 8th accident at the moment. Second thing I'd like to say is that I've been in touch with the compliance managers and the operations managers of 2 major trucking companies in Australia recently. I won't mention them, but they're huge, and they told me that they reckon that 40 kilometres an hour past that place where the accident happened in Urunga is fast enough, and they're circularising their drivers and telling them not to do any faster than 40 or 50 k's through the section of Urunga from Newry Street to Pilot Street.
Excuse me, I live at 28 Pacific Highway. I spend a lot of time on my front veranda. I think I'm a, how would you say? Expert.
Front witness.
Expert, but I see it. I see it every day, I see it every night. It's not the trucks, because I see cars, I see Taragos with mum driving full of kids, speeding up that hill, speeding down that hill. I see people on motorbikes towing cars, towing vans, towing boats. It is not just trucks.
No, it's not.
It is all road users, and it is the road. The road is a 1960s styled piece of infrastructure that is carrying 2012 traffic. This is a suburban road. That suburban road is still the highway. Slow the traffic down, yes. Drop it to 50, yes. Driver education, yes. Maybe centre barriers, yes. But the thing is, it is still that road. That road needs to be moved to a place where it is not going to affect the mums and dads, the mothers, the daughters, the brothers, the
People
sons.
sleeping in their houses.
I've been there 10 years. I've seen it all. I've gone through the nights where you can't sleep. I'm still going through the nights where I can't sleep because Who knows? It's a numbers game. It was going to happen at some stage. Sadly, it has happened. The road has to be moved and driver education has to be better looked at. Too, everybody, as far as the speed camera goes, and this is from how many years experience, a speed camera is only an electronic speed bump. What do we all do when we go over a speed bump? We slow down before it.
That's right.
Speed up after it. And it's not just the speed camera, it is the road. It is in a suburban area and it should be removed. Or it should have the infrastructure put in place that vehicles will slow down. Because as it's been said, enough is enough. As a community, as Urungarites, Ballarites, from Bellingen, from Coss Harbour, it doesn't matter where you are, it affects all of us, and together we can do something. But if we infight, if we argue, if we try to push our own little...
we're a family, we've got to stick together.
We've just got to stick together.
Thank you so much.
Move the road and get better infrastructure so not only are we all safe, but the beautiful visitors to our area are safe. Their kids are safe. And that there's no more hardship, there's no more the trauma in their families of a lost life or a lost loved one. That is the issue that we should be looking together, you know?
It's good to see that this tragic event has sparked community feelings. Enough to say enough's enough. Of course, it would always be better on a sunnier day, but still, even in this inclement weather, we still have enough people here to turn up to carry on, you know, to the next meeting or where it leads us from here, and the end game being to get our road fixed, to get it moved, to let it go back to what it is as a suburban street, and to have the highway moved from our suburban area, just like here in Urunga, at Almara and all the other places in Woodford, you know, to get the highway out of the community.
Thank you.
I think we've got the opportunity to make that boy who died on the highway a couple of weeks ago, to make his death not a...
Just another cross on the road.
Yeah.
Too many crosses on the road.
That's right. Yes,
Pacific Highway between Blockades and Coss Harbour are claiming too many lives.
Thank you.
Help us in the highway to hell.